Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video I am updating you on Inde. Now if you guys are new here you won't know who Inde is, but Inde is a homebred foal. She is now 2 years old. She'll turn 3 next June. She is bred from my pony Kenko, who I bought many years ago when she was sent to me. The Kenko was sent to me to be backed, but unfortunately the time frame in which the owner wanted her backed in was not going to be realistic for Kenko. So I bought her and I rode her, and she was incredibly anxious and difficult, and she had obviously had a bit of a tough time before I got her. Knowing what I know now, I potentially wouldn't have chosen to breed from her. But I retired her, and she's a good stamp of a pony. She moved very well. She never had any lameness issues. So I chose to breed from her, and I bred Inde. So this video is all about Inde, because unfortunately Inde suffered a really bad accident in the field last year. Found this time last year, no, it was earlier than that. It was maybe October time, September, October time. She was really lame in the field. And we had initially thought she had an abscess, and then it transpired she did not have an abscess. She had broken her shoulder. Now I was faced with a very difficult decision, but the thing with Inde was she really wasn't very lame considering she had a broken shoulder. So when I took her up to Newmarket Rossdale's, I was faced with the decision of put her to sleep or give her a chance. I'd have to spend some money to give her a chance. Thankfully she had her insured, and I for that reason will always insure my young horses. Not for loads of money, I don't have them insured for high value, but they are insured so that they can cover the vet bills. And I'm glad that I did, because she had life-changing surgery. She had her shoulder plated and pinned. I will put in the x-rays, I will put in all of the interesting stuff in the next bit of video. But yeah, she had this surgery and it was really hard for her, but she has been the toughest, bravest, funniest, cheekiest little horse ever. And I'm glad I did, because she is now out in the field, back with Kenko, Mo and Didi, and she is recovering. So she spent a year in a stable, going out in the paddock, going in a stable, in a pen. She had a short period of time where she was on box rest completely. And you know what? It was like she just got it. She just understood. And often people talk about box rest and how it is, really bad for horses. And I do appreciate that it's not the ideal. But when you're given the option of saving her life, it felt like the right thing to do. And it felt like the right thing to do because of how she coped. She was really just very stoic and happy to be there. She never picked up any bad stable habits. She always had company. She always had food. She never got really fat or anything like that would tell me that she wasn't doing well. We were hand walking her, which was hilarious in itself. She was such a monkey. There's some really funny pictures actually from Holly that I will put in here, of her dragging me off, pulling rugs off the side. She got bored, she did, but she did it with good humour. And so yeah, it's been a whole year now since this happened, since she had the surgery. She's now back out over the road with her mum and her friends, as I said, and she's pretty sound. We brought her in recently to see the farrier, and I trotted her up for him because he wanted to see how she was moving, and she looked really good. We have no idea what her life is going to look like. I don't know if she will have a ridden life, but she will have a life, and I've given her that. She is a beautiful pony, and she's not very big. She's probably only 14 hands, but maybe one day she will mature, and the way that the bone has regrown is really good. They took an x-ray recently. I took her back to Newmarket and they were super pleased with how it's healed, but we don't know whether that will stand up to work or whether she will be sound. But I do have my hopes on that she may have a role. Maybe she will do groundwork and she will be an amazing teaching element for me, you know, that I can show others how the groundwork works through her. Maybe she'll learn tricks, maybe she will just be a field ornament. I don't know the answer to that, but I am very at peace with not knowing the answer to that. And I'm very at peace with my decision that I made. You know, I had somebody come and they saw her not long after, and, you know, her shoulder looked pretty horrible. She had this big lump on her shoulder, and they said, why didn't you just put her to sleep? And they stood there looking at her. And I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, what do you mean? That's why. Look at her face. Look how happy she is. This joyful, happy little 2-year-old standing there like, ah. And I just thought, yeah, for me and her, I think I made the right choice. And maybe other people will tell me I'm mad and I shouldn't have put her through that. But seeing her now, playing in the field with Dee Dee, living her best life, I think, yeah, I made the right choice. And she will have that for the rest of her life, whatever the rest of her life looks like. So I will take you to see her later, because I've got to go to the field, actually, because her mum is going out on loan to a friend of mine. So that will be a separate video, actually, of me talking about that. But anyway, that's Inde. That's the Inde update. So yeah, here is the story of her shoulder, and then I will show you her later. First time in the lorry, not so bad. I zoomed out right at the wrong moment. There we go. Happy, happy little horse. Goodness grief. This is serious. Hey. Little Binder. You've been through it, huh? She don't even want a carrot. I want carrots. No, I want polos. Do you want a polo instead? She says no, my shop hurts. Bloody hell. She says yes. Yes for polos. Oh, goodness me. Poor girl. Another one? Come on, let's go. One more. You can't tell everyone that you're okay. No, 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 no. Stop. Oh my gosh. More polos, madam? need to go home. We're gonna take you home. You're home, Ines. Oh, bless her. That's 60, okay? Out. Get out. So third and last horse that Callie is treating today is Inde. She's actually stood badly to show you her shoulder, but here is her. Her shoulder is so much more normal. Looks worse because of the clip. Very hard to see on this video. But well. And so Callie has said, well, you tell me what you're going to do then, Callie.
Yeah, so we're going to treat the area where the fracture was with the scapula and also the shoulder joints. I'm going to come in through here, so the plate's on her sternum, so it's going to kind of go through the body to the plate and then back again. Obviously she's got atrophy of the tricep muscle, the long head and the lateral head here. So we're going to do a lot of work over there, basically as a form of muscle stimulation to get that not so atrophied and build that muscle up. By treating the joint, we're going to help with chondrogenesis of that joint, so promoting the cartilage production and making that joint warmer, so synovial fluid production, so it has increased range of motion. So when she's walking, we're getting increased gait parameters and a more effective gait, so that she's able to build up muscle more correctly.
Cool. And you were saying how actually the rest of her body is actually doing really well.
Yeah, it's doing
considering
really well,
she's a little bit portly, but pretty much happy with progress. But this is hopefully going to speed things up and help Inde feel even better. Enough of this. Inde, you are really naughty. going out next to Boots. This whole time he's been like her very sensible neighbour. So it's nice for them to actually be meeting over the fence, talking to each other properly. That's good. I mean, that is pretty remarkable. So it's Farrier Day, and so what I wanted to do is we brought Mo, Dee an Indian, and I was going to show you how Indy looks now. She's really sound in walk. She's definitely, we'll give her a little trot up in a minute. But I'll spin the camera around and I'll show you what her shoulder looks like now. So this is her shoulder now. Pretty remarkable, really. If you look at it from the front, it's not totally square, but like there are certain angles when she stands where it looks a bit weird, and she's got this like atrophy at the top here. I'm hoping that just with some more time that she is going to be perfectly normal, because it looks pretty normal from the front now. So yeah, she's not very big. How big are you? What do we reckon? She's 14 too yet? 14 hands maybe? Hey little old Mosey. Hey little old Mosey. But yeah, really pleased with her. And it just is what it is at the end of the day. I'm just, glad that she is all right and sound enough to be in a field. So yeah, not much more I can do. She's very happy in her field with her pals, so that's what we'll stick with for a bit longer. So there you have a year of Indy's rehab. It's been long, it's been pretty tough. Initially it was really hard to see whether we had done the right thing. Obviously she had a long stint of rehab, a lot of being in her stable, a lot of rest, a lot of physio, a lot of just time to just recover, and then pens. We had her out in the small pens in the summer. We moved the pens around every 2 days to make sure that she had grass, and then Obi joined her and made sure he had grass. And it was exhausting, but it was definitely worth it. She is very much still a field ornament at the moment. She doesn't look totally sound in the field, unfortunately. She does in walk. She's definitely not hurting when she's just ambling around, and she's a really good weight. She looks bright and happy, but there does seem to be some change in mobility for her. She doesn't seem to have the lift into trot that she should have. I'm still hopeful that with time that maybe she will redevelop the nerve pathways and come back to being a potentially ridden horse. In theory, the shoulder shouldn't be any weaker than the other or anything like that, but it's just really unknown at this point. I definitely think that these sort of situations are quite complicated when it comes to pets and horses. I know a lot of you wouldn't count horses as pets, but at the end of the day, I love them like I love the dogs, and I would, if our dog had a broken leg, I'd never consider not trying to mend it. And I do still see what we're doing now as us trying to mend it, because these sort of recoveries aren't quick. And maybe she will never be a ridden horse, but maybe she will have another purpose or another way to live her life that gives her meaning and gives her joy. Horses don't know that they're meant to be ridden. They don't know that, we have aspirations for them. That's us, not them. So for me and for her, I'm just going to see how it goes. She's not very big. She's quite a small pony. You know, she's probably 14 hands. She's not quite the size that I thought she'd end up at. But as we go into her 3-year-old year, so she won't turn 3 until June, but as we go towards her 3-year-old year, I'm just keeping an open mind. And I think that's actually probably how we should all look at all horses. We don't have to look at them all as needing a purpose or having a job. They can just exist and be wonderful and funny. And yeah. So I hope you enjoyed catching up with Inde. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And I will see you for next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.